What is up, guys? Alex Moy, Passion for Money, and today I got Nick Brown in the building.
What's up? Oh, sorry.
Let's go. What is up, guys? Here we are, Passion for Money, guys. I'm super stoked for today's episode. Nick Brown in the building, y'all. Come on now. Come on, Nick. Just tell them who you are, what you do, and why you're here today.
First off, how this guy's energy, right? That's just the energy I'm going to be feeding off all day. Yeah, thanks for having me, Alex. I am a host, songwriter, BMI songwriter, print model, commercial actor, entrepreneur, basically a brand in itself that I've been able to create.
Brand.
This is one of them.
Literally brand.
Northbound.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, guys, what's so cool about Nick and why I want him on the show today, and was when I first met him, literally I think 6 months ago, 7 months ago.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And I just met him once. I was like, dude, you got to come here and be on the show and be in Ocala. But basically, Nick here has not just been involved in the industry and in film and in commercial, but in television, but also like he's been able to figure out entrepreneurship, right? Which I feel like a lot of talents in that industry don't take advantage of. And so I wanted him to come on here and talk about, first off, how do you get involved in the industry, all right? And how do you how do you manage, like, how do you just do, like, first off, let's just start there. How do you get involved in the industry? Like, tell us your story.
Well, wow, my story. I guess my story always starts back at I guess Real World, right?
MTV.
MTV.
For those who don't know.
When I was in college, I always wanted to do something in entertainment, but coming up in a Jamaican immigrated family, it doesn't really make sense. It's not really in the blueprint for us, so it was kind of hard. I did like everybody else was doing, or I was actually the first person in my family to be able to go to college. So that just seemed like the thing to do. And I took that opportunity that my parents provided for me, and I did that. But even though while in college, as I was figuring out business and as I, literally figuring out business, AK Psi is a business fraternity, nationwide business. I joined that fraternity. Even there was people that I was like, I don't know if I would hang out with these people, but I feel like I'm going to want to know them.
So would you say you were an entrepreneur from the start?
I think I kind of had that mindset that like I wanted to use my talents, but figure out how the business end worked on it too. So, but really with no sort of direction, but just trying to gain information and knowledge. So at college, whether it be just the fraternity giving me that business sense, and then my own personality telling me that I can do something in entertainment, gave me the passion to try out for Real World.
For sure. And Real World, MTV, that's a big deal, right? That was a big deal
Yeah,
for you.
that was...
Did you meet somebody, like, audition, and you just happened to get in? Like, what happened?
That's the number. I just auditioned. It's different now, right? I sent
it a video audition.
I sent in a tape. I sent in a tape that year. Funny story. That year, my fraternity brother would say to me, we'd go to parties, and he'd be like, "Man, we gotta like record this." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause everywhere we go, people be like, Nick Brown is here, Nick Brown," and I was like. I was just so used to it. He was like, okay, we should record it. So we started recording my last year of college, just a lot of it, just so I could have.
Just raw footage.
Exactly, like just
nice.
a lot of it. And then when audition time came out, I was like, I saw the commercial. I was like, man, I got all this footage. That really captures a lot about me, my personality, my persona. I learned video editing in like a night, chopped something up back in the day when it was like tapes.
Yeah.
And then sent it off, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. So now that process, like they called you back, like now
the casting process is about a 3-month process.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, I'm speaking back in prehistoric times. I don't know what they do now.
Yeah.
But it was a long process, you know, and psychological test, meeting casting directors at different locations wherever you had started, just because as the rounds got longer and longer and the pool got smaller and smaller, and then they finally fly you out to LA for that final round. Gotcha. And then that's where they kind of figure out who they want to go with and who they have in their kind of pool in case something goes wrong. That's
awesome. And I feel like a lot of people wanting to get in the industry get it confused because and this is how I thought of it, you know, before even looking at a camera before I did any of that, just watching Disney and being a young kid and going, Disney'd be cool, you know, something like that. People get it confused on like, oh, like you're just going to act or you're going to be on TV, you're going to be a celebrity, but they don't understand the business side behind it, like shaking hands, like networking, following up with the right people. So did you understand that beforehand before you got involved? I mean, you were in a business fresh.
Yeah,
So I can imagine you were.
No, I understood there was a need for it, though.
Yeah.
See, like I didn't understand it. I don't think you ever understand any of that stuff until you start making motions, right?
Yeah.
But having the awareness that that's a component to it is key, is definitely key, because then you'll be like, all right, it gives you framework. It allows you to give some framework to what you want to do and what you want to be. It's knowing that, like, okay, how am I going to make money? How am I going to turn this into like a money maker and not just be on television and do all these things, but how does it actually operate into a business?
For sure. And that's another big question that I hear that talents have is you get your first break, you know? And like actually, I was listening to a podcast with what's his name, T-Pain. Like T-Pain he's a big artist.
Yeah.
But he went broke.
Yeah.
You know, because he like he kind of fell off, spent a lot of money. You
Yeah.
know? So when you get your first break, like how do you retain it? Like how do you continually pick up jobs?
It's my process has always been to utilize my talent and then to take that talent and that money and then invest it in something long term. So my business
you know?
Yeah, my business ploy is to utilize and also create different revenue streams.
Okay.
Right. So I focused on not just one thing in entertainment, but multiple ones. So when I started getting into music, people were like, "Oh, why is Nick Brown doing music? That's kind of weird." But people don't realize what I was doing is that I know that music travels without you. Yeah. So I licensed music. I licensed music to television shows, right? Nice. 6 television shows, 5 different songs.
Wow.
Right? Sync deals, right? Or I wrote songs on iTunes, right? And those clicks, I don't gotta be there.
Yeah.
When I'm getting a royalty statement from BMI saying like this played in Czechoslovakia somewhere on this television show, whatever time, I'm not there for that. And if those checks are $200, $2,000, or $20, they're just going to come, right? And so creating those multiple revenue streams, that was a part of that kind of business plan too. And then taking those and then putting them into hard assets. And that's kind of the real estate,
right?
Real estate
investor, music artist, actor, model. I mean, like, so
I'm just trying to make my mama proud.
Yeah, there you go. For people who don't know who you are, like, just tell them like I mean, he's been in eBay, you know, Michelob Ultra, which was a Super Bowl commercial, right? Like Dockers commercial.
I've been in Dockers commercial. I've done stuff. Verizon print ad. I've been. I just did a Florida lottery commercial. I've got a regional Badcock furniture commercial out right now. I just shot a print ad for the Wyndham Hotel, which they say should be out in the summer. So, and, you know, that's a part of a business too, is also getting in with the right people. So having those doors open up for me in Florida really was because of the agency I signed up with here, you know, and that's a handshake in business. It's like, let's do this business. And that's a business deal. You see 20% of the things that you bring towards me, and then that creates a funnel.
Yeah.
So I fly back and forth. Sorry to cut you off, but I fly back and forth. They see my schedule. They put those things in. I had 2 auditions before I got here today.
Nice. Hustling, man.
Like,
and
legit.
that's the thing, too, like with agencies, like how do you go about without signing an exclusive agreement, but make sure they actually work for you, not just put you on the list, you know, and not actually do anything with you?
Yeah, I think that once you, a non-exclusive agreement creates that, like, it's in it for you just as much as it for me to get me work and for me to book them.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's the relation. I always do non-exclusive. I have 2 agencies in New York. I'm signed with Abrams and Avanti. Okay. And all of those are non-exclusive. I have one here, CFT Talent. Yeah. It's non-exclusive, and each one is a 1-year deal. and then I have CGM talent in LA.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a non-exclusive. So all of them can operate. The only thing that the agencies will have is that they'll have regional stuff. So it's like, okay, we're non-exclusive, as in you could work with any other, but we would prefer that we'd be your only one in this region.
Gotcha.
And that's fine. That I can adhere to.
That's awesome. And we talked about the business side, and this is really huge, you guys, because I feel like a lot of actors, models are going to watch this, and I want to make sure we provide as much value as possible. So what is top 3 revenue streams that you would suggest for talent out there?
Intellectual property, for one,
Okay.
whether it be writing something, creating some sort of commerce that has your intellectual property, whether it be a logo, something that you know that can be used over and over for whether it be licensing and commerce, and that can move without you.
Yeah.
So I liked songs,
Yeah.
right? Because it can move without me. I liked logos or phrases or things like that. I think that are good things to kind of get. And if you're a songwriter, you're kind of already there. If you're a painter, you're already there, kind of thing. You're creating something that has your stamp on it, and it creates value. You want the value to either grow or up or expand.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. So it's intellectual property. What are some other things? What are 2 other things?
As far as, it's 2 other things that I learned from, the real estate piece has been a good piece.
Yeah.
It's just to concentrate on there and investing. A really good book to hone in on that one is The Richest Man in Babylon. Shout out to that book for really opening my eyes to a lot of things.
How about cryptocurrency? Everyone's talking about this Bitcoin stuff right now.
You know what? I will not comment on it just because I don't really know about it. I don't really. I think personally speaking, it's a volatile investment for me, and especially since I'm just in another form of. I like hard assets. I'm more of a hard assets person. I also manage and pretty much co-own a property service company. Okay. My dad actually owns it, but I pretty help scale it within the last year, and that's a hard asset, right? Yeah. Because it can move, it can grow, and people always need their stuff done. Like things need to always be fixed, right? It's always you could do so much with it. So I like hard assets.
Gotcha.
And property service company is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just looking back at your life, like you've done some awesome accomplishments. What would you tell Nick Brown, being a little older and wiser, like in college? Like, what would you tell him? Deep question, I know. It's something to think about.
Stick with it.
Stick to it. You feel like
Stick with it.
You kind of just swerved off a little bit?
I think that I never swerved off, but I think that there's been a plenty of opportunity for me to, and plenty of reason, either given to me by myself or given to me by others, for me to, and sticking with it has made things, I would say, more fruitful because I always kind of knew and always going to see, and then to understand that like not everybody's going to see your vision, and that's okay.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Don't get butt hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. And once you accept that not everybody's going to see your vision, it makes it easy for you to stick with it.
Absolutely. Stick to it, guys.
Stick with it.
I love
stick with it. Yes. Stick with it.
Awesome.
Stick with it.
And before we wrap things up, we got to let them know what's your spring break look like? Because I've seen videos, I've heard stories.
Right, he's got to ask me that.
Yeah. How's your
my
spring
girlfriend's
break?
probably watching this.
Man. This is going up privately. She won't see a thing.
Nah. So this spring break, South Padre Island, Nick Brown and Deuces will be there at Clayton's Beach, hosting spring break again. We've got, so far, we just made an announcement. We got Future coming down March 13th. We've got Gucci Mane coming down March 15th, Post Malone March 10th, and Nick Brown and Deuces. The Nick Brown and Deuces show every single day from March 4th to 27th down in South Padre Island. You can actually get your tickets off Clayton's Beach Bar. They're $10. Your day tickets are VIP access, $10 tickets. You check that out at Clayton's Beach Bar.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check out their website,
Yep,
guys. But,
yep.
But I've heard some stories, y'all, and it seems like if you're out there, I mean, really,
No,
trying to
it's
have a good time for spring break.
It's a whole different.
Seems
It's
like
a
a good
different
place.
animal. It's
Yeah.
a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal. It's 25,000, at least in front of me. And then you got kids from all over, Arkansas, Texas, Wisconsin. You meet so many great people. I love it
Yeah.
because it's a really great way to unite people from all over the country.
Of course.
So that's kind of one of our slogans, like we're uniting the masses through music.
Absolutely, and it's cool to see you on stage too, being able to host the whole thing, you know?
And produce it. Most people don't know I'm the production company that produces the stage show.
Really?
Yeah, entirely.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome, guys. Well, hey, check out Nick Brown, nickbrownonline.com.
.com.
Right?
Yes.
And also, if you want interested in checking out the events in spring break in South Padre Island, put a link below. Check it out. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions for the Passion for Money, you can follow me on social media, AlexMoy24, or check out my YouTube channel, which is also Alex Moy. And
At Nick Brown Online, check me out
Nick
too.
Brown Online, yeah, always plug, guys.
Yeah, man.
And any other last comments, words?
Yeah, man. For anybody watching this and are in a place that they don't really know where their next turn is, like that's okay. All right, that really is all right. You're not always going to know where your next turn is, but as long as you know the next move you have to make is going to be the one that makes you better, you'll always be better. You'll always be fine. You'll always
stick
be
with
fine.
it.
Stick
with
with
it, guys.
You'll
I
always
like
be
it.
fine.
I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Stick with it.